Hello and welcome to today's The Last Week Ahead video. Now in today's The Last Week Ahead video, we'll be taking a look at two stocks. I'll take a look at Reliance Industries, I'll take a look at Bajaj Finance. I'll take a look at both of them from the perspective of an equity trader and futures and options trader. But before we go into all of that, let's take a look at the news affecting our markets this week on the local and international front. Now on the local front, this week is a pretty important data week. I say this as we have the RBI releasing its interest rate decision on Friday 5th June. So that's going to really impact the markets naturally. And from basically Wednesday noon post, you'll start seeing the markets starting positioning themselves for that. So that's an event. And then also we have the GDP numbers coming out on Friday. So Friday is going to be a pretty important day. Then during the week, we have basically the same game going on between Iran and US, which President Trump is playing. So that's always going to be an overhang, and if whichever side it falls on, deal or no deal, it will cause a big impact to go on one end, and the other end will be dealt a different hand. So that's really it on the news front. Now let's take a look at the stocks that we're going to cover today. We'll start with Reliance Industries and then move on to Bajaj Finance. Now coming on to Reliance Industries, now the stock has basically tried to go up at all times, but it has not been able. And in fact today the news which has been released that the Indian government is cutting export duties. Now that's going to help Reliance a bit, as the main reason of that is mainly that. Everybody knows it, but very few can say it. Now, how do I plan to trade Reliance Industries going ahead? Now, according to me, even with this duty cut, Reliance is still most likely going to keep trading between 1375 and 1310. So as long as it is within this range, do not expect a clean move. On either side, it's going to be giving two-way moves. On the other hand, if it breaks above 1375, then it can be a quick long until 1410 rupees. On the other hand, if it breaks 1310, then it goes to 1282 and 1240. Now, how I look at the Reliance Industries as a stock is that if the international status of things stays as status quo and there is nothing positive new released on the local front, like let's say the tax cuts which they're saying, if they only turn out to be rumors, then Reliance Industries in the coming days and weeks will most likely break 1310 to go to 1282 and 1240. The only time this will change is dependent on the news. This is technically Reliance wants to go down, but the news is the only thing that can now take it up. But even if it takes it up, it can go maximum to 1410 and above that 1525. Beyond that, Reliance Industries doesn't have a ceiling. So my trading plan, as I said, between 1310 and 1375, I'm not going to look for any clean trades. I will trade more intraday Reliance in this zone. Play the direction rather than the intraday direction or the position direction. If it breaks 1310, then I'm going to short it very aggressively to 1282 and 1240. I will short it with a mix of C sells and option buying shorts. Then if it breaks up 1375 to go long, I will not be aggressive because the risk reward is not that great. So I'll most likely just do it via PE sells rather than going in option buys in futures or equity. So that's it for Reliance. Now let's take a look at Bajaj Finance. Now Bajaj Finance has also been having a similar move, but it has not had that bad a time like Reliance Industries. Just if you look at Reliance's chart, it is only staying there at the bottom. Bajaj at least had a fall, went up and has come back to the middle of the range. Now, once again, Bajaj Finance, it's a box range play. Once it breaks out the box, that's when you get a clean move. Now, Bajaj has got the 200-day moving average as a resistance here. It's got a very strong resistance level of 943 and 955. However, I believe these two resistance zones is more important than a moving average right now. So, as long as it's between 887 and 955, don't expect anything clean. It will play with the emotions of the bulls and the bears. However, if it ends up breaking 887, then it's a short to 862, and if it breaks that, it has broken a very, very important support it goes to 822. On the other hand, I believe if Bajaj Finance is able to cross this zone with the help of the trend catcher indicator and the volume build-up indicator, then we'll be going to 1020 in a pretty clean way. As I said, if we break this resistance zone and either of these indicators has turned bullish, then the 200-day moving average won't be able to do anything and we'll go to 1020. So how will I trade Bajaj Finance personally? Now Bajaj Finance is where I'll be a bit more cautious, I would say, compared to Reliance. Or if this is as I will let it break either end, then only I will look at it. Even intraday I won't really touch Bajaj Finance that much because of it's not a stock that gives very good intraday returns. So if by chance it breaks 955, then I will look at Bajaj Finance via equity buy and via PE sales. But if it breaks 887, then I will look at it between 887 and 862 for a short via option buys only. If it breaks 862, then I'll go option buys, CE sells, futures. I'll put it all in because if it breaks 862, then it's a very strong support. It's breaking, so it will be moving to 822 in quite a definite manner. So my trading plan for both stocks is based on the range, which side it breaks, I will take my trade, as I trade in that sort of style. So if you like the video, then hit that like button and subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell. Thank you.